The modern prepper has been sold a dangerous lie. We are told that surviving the collapse of the grid requires expensive, ultralight tactical gear covered in microchips and plastic buckles. But modern gear is built for weekend camping trips, not the apocalypse. When the grid goes down, the temperature drops, and the supply chains freeze, your plastic will shatter and your batteries will die. Welcome to the den. Today, we are exposing the fragility of modern survivalism. We are looking back at the men who survived world wars and global trenches to uncover 10 vintage military tools made of steel, canvas, and wool that will absolutely outlast your modern tactical gear. Item number 1. Gear transport. Today's tactical backpacks are made of thin nylon and rely entirely on plastic quick-release buckles. In sub-zero temperatures, that plastic becomes as fragile as glass. One wrong step and your pack is useless. Veteran soldiers relied on the Alice pack, heavy nylon, thick canvas, and solid steel hardware. A steel buckle does not snap in the freezing cold. It does not melt if you drop it near the campfire. It is heavy, yes, but in a grid-down scenario, durability is the only metric that matters. Item number 2. Extreme insulation. Modern preppers love synthetic fleece and ultralight puffer jackets, but synthetic fibers are just spun plastic. A single spark from your survival fire will melt that jacket straight to your skin, and if it gets wet, it loses all thermal value. You will freeze to death in a rainstorm. The veteran's choice is 100% boiled wool. Wool is a miracle of nature. It is naturally fire-resistant. Embers just bounce off it. More importantly, wool retains up to 80% of its insulating properties even when soaking wet. It is the gold standard for staying alive in the harshest environments on Earth. Item number 3. Fire generation. Modern plasma lighters require USB charging. When the EMP hits or the sun doesn't shine on your solar panels, your fire starter becomes a paperweight. Even butane lighters fail because butane turns into a useless liquid in freezing temperatures. Look at the World War I brass trench lighter. It has no complex mechanism, no circuits, no pressurized gas. Its greatest strength is its adaptability. In an SHTF scenario, you can fill this lighter with almost any flammable liquid you scavenge, kerosene, diesel fuel, or even high-proof alcohol. It will strike and it will burn. Item number 4. Shelter. Modern ultralight sil nylon tents are glorified tissue paper. They puncture easily, and if you try to put a small heating stove inside one to survive a blizzard, the radiant heat will melt the walls. Veterans used the Waxed Canvas Shelter.Forget. It is heavy and you will feel it on your back, but it is practically indestructible. It blocks howling winds. The wax makes it heavily waterproof, and you can build a roaring fire right at its entrance without fear of your shelter melting into toxic sludge. Item number 5. Cooking systems. Modern pressurized gas stoves boil water incredibly fast, but they chain you to a supply line. When the gas canister runs out, your stove is dead. You cannot refill it in the wild. The veteran solution is the folding metal twig stove, or the classic hobo stove. It requires no specialized fuel. You feed it dry twigs, pine cones, bark, or even combustible trash. As long as you are surrounded by nature or urban ruins, you have infinite fuel to boil your water and cook your food. True off-grid freedom. Item number 6. Emergency signaling. Personal locator beacons are incredible technology until the satellites go offline, or the grid collapses, or your battery dies in the cold. The military glass heliograph requires zero power. By angling this mirror correctly, you can bounce the sun's rays to create a blinding flash that can be seen by a rescue aircraft or an allied faction up to 40 miles away. It is silent, it is infinite, and it never needs needs a firmware update. Item number 7. Cordage. Modern preppers stockpile plastic zip ties and bungee cords, but prolonged exposure to the sun's UV rays makes zip ties brittle and the rubber inside bungee cords rots and loses elasticity in a matter of months. The veteran's secret is tarred bank line. The tar coating makes this cordage completely waterproof and incredibly resistant to rot and UV damage. More importantly, the sticky texture of the tar means that when you tie a knot, it bites down on itself and never slips. Item number 8. Edge maintenance. Those cheap, tactical, pull-through carbide sharpeners don't hone your knife, they shred it. They violently tear away the metal, eventually destroying the blade's geometry entirely. A true survivalist uses a natural whetstone puck. Honing a blade on a natural stone takes patience and skill. It is slower, but it preserves the micro-edge of the high-carbon steel, ensuring your blade will last for generations, not just a few seasons. Item number 9. Emergency medicine. Modern trauma kits are full of specialized sticky tapes and adhesives, but in the reality of SHTF, your skin will be covered in sweat, blood, and mud. Adhesives fail when things get dirty. The veteran relied on the muslin cravat, the triangular bandage. It relies on mechanical knots, not glue. It is the ultimate multi-tool of medicine. It can be a sling for a broken arm, a pressure dressing for a severe bleed, an improvised tourniquet, or even a pre-filter for dirty water. Item number 10. Food sustainment. Modern meals ready to eat, or MREs, are full of chemical heaters and complex preservatives, but they have a shelf life. After 5 to 7 years, the fats in them go rancid. They will make you violently ill when you need calories the most. Long before the modern era, soldiers and frontiersmen survived on pemmican and hardtack. Pemmican is a mixture of dried, pounded meat and rendered animal fat. When prepared and stored correctly, it contains 0 chemicals and can last for decades without spoiling. It is pure, indestructible survival fuel. The modern world has sold you convenience disguised as survival, but convenience dies when the power goes out. The men who fought in the trenches and survived the harshest winters in human history didn't rely on plastic buckles and microchips. They relied on steel, canvas, wool, and the knowledge in their heads. Drop the illusions. Equip your mind. Hit subscribe. Welcome to the den. Stay unbreakable.